What's up, guys? So as the title suggests, we're gonna talk about Quantum Break. So I've pretty much made it no secret that I want to get a PS4 over an Xbox One. I mean, Xbox One really doesn't appeal to me, at least not yet. But the one title since the Microsoft press conference that has really piqued my interest when it comes to the Xbox One is Quantum Break. I mean, not only because I absolutely love Remedy. I loved Alan Wake. I loved the way that they told that story. We haven't really seen this happen in the game industry just yet. At least not the way that Quantum Break is doing it. I mean, pretty much what it's doing is it's getting a video game and it's linking it to TV, to a TV show. So which is why Remedy went to the Xbox One, because the Xbox One suits it the best, because the Xbox One has these integrations of TV and all this stuff. There are some concerns about this. I mean, I think the closest experience that we've had when it comes to something like this is Defiance. Defiance is an MMO, sci-fi MMO, and it didn't really do very well, and it did integrate a TV show. I don't know of any other game that has done this before. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys know of any other games that have linked TV shows with the game. I'm not talking about like TV shows or games based off of blah blah blah. No, I mean like linked. Like they're integrated, they're part of each other. So I do have my concerns, but first let me let you guys know what this is all about. So like I said, the developer is Remedy, the publisher is Microsoft, the platform is the Xbox One, and there is no release date as of yet, but I'm guessing late 2014. The game is categorized as a sci-fi adventure, it's a third-person shooter, and it's single-player only. The gameplay does implement a cover-based system and the use of powers. The game has live-action videos blended with a regular gameplay. Probably the most intriguing thing about this game, at least to me, is this integration of a TV show. A Quantum Break TV show is being produced as we speak, along with the game. And at first I was like, wait, I don't get it. Like, is this a TV show that's going to be on TV? And I was like, how are they going to connect it with the Xbox One? It's not going to be a TV show on national television. It's actually going to ship with the game. So each game comes with season 1 of Quantum Break. Everything you do in the game affects the way that the TV show plays out. And things that happen in the TV show help you play the game. So you learn things in the TV show, or characters might say things where you're like, okay, I know what to do next now when I play the next episode. It is an episodic type of gameplay, which doesn't surprise me because Remedy is very big on this type of thing, on episodes. I mean, that's how they did Alan Wake. Now, I know a lot of you guys are wondering about the story. What is it about? It's a world like ours, but set in a fictional northeast of the United States. It starts off in like a university. I forgot what they're calling the university. They talk about 3 main characters, Jack Joyce, Beth Wilder, and Paul Serene. First, I was reading that these 3 are the main characters, and I believe they probably start off together in this university, and they're studying time travel, and they're doing this project, this experiment that goes wrong. It's kind of like your typical superhero storyline, where something goes wrong, and then those characters manifest powers. Time starts moving forward and backwards. Time is just, they're saying that time is just non-existent now, because, I mean, it exists, but it's messed up. Each of them have a different power when it comes to time travel. Jack Joyce is that character that we see in the trailer and in the gameplay trailer that we saw in the VGX, that grabs that girl's hand and he tells her that he's not going to hurt her, but he can't let her go. That's Jack Joyce. The other girl that's with him is Beth Wilder, and then there's Paul Serene, which I believe we haven't seen yet. They were going a little bit into Paul Serene's ability or power, which is that he could see, I believe they're calling it junction, his power. He could see different paths in the future, and he could choose the way that that you're going to reach that future. So he sees junctions in time to get to a specific future. But Paul Serene is the bad guy. And he used to be Jack Joyce's best friend. So I'm guessing that they all started off together as friends. This all went to hell. And maybe Paul Serene, you know, like kind of like your typical villain and hero story where the hero is like, we should use this for good, but the villain it separates from his best friend because he's like, no, we should embrace this power, blah blah blah. That's what I'm thinking. They didn't go like fully into it, but they did say this. They did say that Paul Serene is the bad guy, and he's the CEO of this massive company that makes like time travel technology. These three characters are playable, even the bad guy, which I was like, oh my god, wait. I mean, this could be absolutely amazing, like really fun to do, because they were talking about that when you're Paul Serene, the bad guy, since he has this power of junctions, where he could see junctions, you could choose, like, you're the bad guy. Sam Lake said that they were focusing a lot on this ludonarrative dissonance concept. What this means is that you're taking a storyline and you as the player have the control to change the gameplay for your benefit. If you slip out of that and you actually see it from above, like kind of like get a bird's eye view, you're starting to see the bigger picture, and it's like it's actually going to affect it all in as a whole. Like what you do for your gameplay advances could affect the storyline with consequences, and like with actually it affecting things and like causing sometimes even bad stuff to happen. Some of these examples of games that do this are BioShock. Another one is Deus Ex Human Revolution. It seems like you're doing like you're just like, oh, I'm advancing Adam Jensen so that he could you know, achieve his goal easier. If you think about it on a moral standpoint, or if you look at it from afar, you're just like, he's becoming less human. You know, so it's like the good and the bad, they're going to be giving you choices as the heroes and as the bad guy, which is really intriguing to me, because how are you going to make the choices if you're playing the hero and you're also playing the bad guy? They were saying that Paul Serene, this bad guy, they wanted you to be able to play him because they want you to understand his motivations, to understand where he's coming from, to understand why he's doing this. He was talking about some villains in history, in literature, in storytelling that have just stuck with people, where you're just like, you can't help but love to hate them, or you kind of like, some people even start to defend the bad guy because they're like, oh no, it's just because he's had a bad past or whatever. One big example is Darth Vader. They want Paul Serene to be that type of bad guy. Where another example is Loki, where you kind of like, you know, he's a bad guy, but when you start to see his motivations, or you start to learn more about him, you start to question. You're like, well, I mean, he kind of has a point there. You know, you start to really, your mind starts to change in a certain way sometimes, where you're almost rooting for the bad guy sometimes. And that's why they're doing this, because they want Paul Serene to be that type of character, because you're going to be playing him as well, and they want to have that interest and that intrigue in playing the bad guy. So that, I mean, that's going to cause this could be, like I said, this could be really interesting, because it's going to cause a lot of tension, because you're playing, like I said, you're playing both characters, and Paul Serene is pretty much, has the power to pretty much choose how the game is going to keep playing for the heroes. So when he chooses a junction, he's obviously doing it to benefit him, And you're the one that's choosing, so you're just like, okay, I'm Paul Serene right now. This is going to benefit Paul Serene. But then you have to keep in mind that this is probably going to affect the heroes that you're going to be playing. So it's just, it's going to be this tension where you're just like, I don't know what to do. I mean, that could be too much. Just like, I don't know what to do. And that's not always a good thing. But if they do it right, which it sounds like they're really focusing on trying to make a balance, because they said that these junctions, these choices, when you're Paul Serene, that he makes to choose whatever path and however the game is going to keep playing, is more like a choice of dramatic feel. They were saying that they were doing this mostly because they really want the player to choose what bad guys they prefer to fight, or what gameplay they prefer, what style. So these junctions are mostly there for dramatic effect. And this is just completely me throwing examples. This is not what I'm pretty sure this is not in Quantum Break. But let's just say that you're fighting aliens, and you're just like, I'm sick of fighting these aliens. Like, I do not want to fight these aliens anymore. And then you got this choice of junctions where Paul Serene is like, I'm gonna mess with time travel, I'm gonna mess with the future or whatever. And you see in one junction, you could keep the aliens are still there. And another junction, it's humans. The bad guys are humans. And in another junction, it's freaking rabid dogs or whatever. You could choose. So if you're sick of fighting aliens, you could change it. They want it to be a very personalized game and TV show. Sam Lake was saying that with the TV show, since it comes shipped with the game, it's pretty much like you have your own individual personalized director's cut. So only you will see, like, say someone else has it, they're going to see one show, they're going to see Quantum Break the way that they want it, and then you're going to see a different one, Quantum Break, your personalized Quantum Break show. And I was like, I've never seen that before, where you pretty much create your show. Like, what you do affects the show. I find that pretty fascinating. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really intrigued by this because it just sounds so innovative. It sounds so new to me, where I'm like, I want to experience this. I'm holding the concerns till the end, so don't think that it's not like I don't have any concerns. I do have concerns, but I'm going to talk about those in the end. Since they are talking about time travel and the physics of time and all this crazy stuff, science, they actually hired like this professor that used to work at CERN. It's the European Organization for Nuclear Research. The minute I saw CERN, I was like, aren't they the people that did the Large Hadron Collider? They are the ones. CERN is the company or the organization that created the Hadron Collider, the Large Hadron Collider. If you guys don't know anything about the Hadron Collider, it's absolutely fascinating. There are theories out there that with what the Hadron Collider does, that you could actually use it as a time machine. But yeah, it's fascinating stuff. So I would if you guys want to, I would recommend looking up the Large Hadron Collider. I'm not saying that the Hadron Collider has something to do with the game. It probably doesn't. They haven't said anything about it. But what I'm saying is that it's interesting to know what it does, and the person that they hired to keep the science real in the game and in the show, it used to work at CERN, where they created the Hadron Collider. So with Quantum Break, what they're doing is they are incorporating the story-driven gameplay of Alan Wake with the stylized action of Max Payne. The first trailer that we saw for Quantum Break just showed pure cinematics. And Sam Lake already confirmed that what they showed in that trailer was real-time. It was in-engine cinematics, so that's how the game looks like. We hadn't seen any gameplay. So people were really worried. They were like, this is this probably doesn't even have any gameplay. It's probably just this interactive cinematic experience. Kind of like what happened with Beyond Two Souls. But just recently in the VGX, they showed some gameplay of Quantum Break. Not a lot, but some. It looks absolutely gorgeous. And you do see this cover-to-cover system. At heart, it's a shooter. So they're calling it the ultimate Remedy experience because it's putting together those two games that they're best known for and that a lot of people love. So they were saying that when the dust settles during these action-driven third-person shooter scenes or moments, you do get an interactive drama scene where you're presented with junctions, these junctions that I was talking about in time. They're saying that they're big, memorable moments, and they have ramifications that affect the game and the show. I don't know exactly how it's going to be, but they were saying that you play, and then whatever you did is going to play out in the actual TV show. And they also said that it's going to be the length of a TV show. I don't know how long the actual gameplay is going to be, but they are saying that it's not going to be like little segments. The player chooses their dramatic preference. Each path has positive and negative consequences for all sides. They were talking about that there's an element of strategy when choosing in these junctions in time. This is where I was talking about the preference of enemies. If you prefer a certain type of enemy or action encounter, choose whatever path. Quantum Break will feed into the numerous unlockable TV show episodes. So that's why I'm saying that you first have to play the game episode in order to unlock the TV show. But they are making a point to say that it's not your type of game where it's like choose your adventure. So Sam Lake says one story gets easily watered down into many weaker ones. For us, this is one powerful story told many different ways. The characters and the locations do overlap between the game and the show, but the main characters in the game are different from the main characters in the show. So you're pretty much seeing the same story, but you're seeing different perspectives. But the characters do overlap. So I think the main characters of the TV show, you are going to eventually like bump into them every now and then in the game, or you're going to hear about them, and vice versa. The voice actors, the people that are doing the motion capture for the game, because it is motion capture for the game, are the actual ensemble cast, the cast of the show. And they were also talking about most likely incorporating the smart glass option that the Xbox One has. Now let me talk a little bit about the questions / concerns that I have. Where is the focus more on? Is this game more focused on the game, or is it more focused on the show? I think that's going to be a turning point for a lot of gamers, because when it comes to gamers, the people that are actually playing this game, they want, at least that's what I think. I think the majority are going to want focus on the game. It's going to be a plus if the TV show is going to be really good. I mean, especially when it's about time travel. I mean, that stuff is so cool to me. I mean, if it's a really good TV show, then awesome, it's a plus. But I hope the focus is more on the game aspect than on the TV show, because here's how I see it. You have games like Beyond Two Souls, where the focus is pretty much just cinematic interactions. That's it. You choose what Ellie says, or Jodie. The action scenes and all that, there is no weight to them. There's no danger there. There's no consequence. It's just, it kind of breaks the immersion. At least that's how I see it. Now, games that focus a lot on cinematics is not a bad thing. I mean, you've got Metal Gear Solid. I know a lot of people, that's not their type of game, where they're like, oh, it's too much. It's like I'm watching a movie. I think Metal Gear Solid did a really good job at the way that they did it, because they had gameplay that matters. It was challenging, the gameplay. So it was a game. They're stating that this is a full-on third-person shooter, that it has those full-on third-person shooter aspects, cover to cover, gunplay, all of that. But it also has this interactive storytelling. Hopefully there's a good balance there, where you get the best of both worlds. This is the type of game that you need to experience. It's not like, oh, I'll watch a Let's Play. No, this is like a very personalized experience. A game that you are melding and a show that you are melding. Which is just, I'm like, oh my god. I want to do that. I get easily excited. You guys know that about me. But so I don't know. I mean, I can't help it. When I see like these new concepts, these awesome ideas, they sound awesome and they get me so excited, but then they make me stop and think, and then I'm like, will they pull it off? Like, could they pull it off? It's not like Remedy has done this before and they pulled it off. This is the first time they're doing something like this. This is the first time that I've ever seen it done this way in the industry. So Remedy is opening the doors. So whether it's gonna work or not, it's something that we're gonna have to see. I really hope it does work out for them, because like I said, I love Remedy, and it sounds like a great idea. And if it works out, wow. Now, I'm not saying that this is where I want video games to go. This is not what I want all video games to be. I mean, this is nice to see something every now and then, like where it's like, ooh, a new experience. That's cool. But it would suck if all of a sudden everybody started to do this. I know that there's going to be this interactive Halo TV show or whatever. That doesn't really interest me that much. But this particular project, the concept, even the story and all that's what intrigues me, is the particular project, not the idea of doing this. It's not like, oh, I hope all video games now do this. No. Another concern that I have is the whole switching between the characters, or among the characters, the 3 characters, and also the choices. You could overdo that. Having too much switches, or having too many choices where it doesn't feel natural. You know, like it doesn't feel like it flows. Where all of a sudden you're just like in this gameplay, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, now choose your path. Like, it's like, it kind of takes you out of the zone. You know, when you're in the zone and all of a sudden you're like, what? I have to choose again? I like choices that are integrated in the story, where it's like, you know, like RPGs. That's that style, where it's choices, little choices here and there, and they're like thrown in there so that you choose. Are you gonna play it like this, or are you gonna play it like that? But with this junction, I really hope they do it in a way that will flow with the storyline, and it's not just like this, like taking you out of the zone and having you choose which path you want to take every freaking time Paul Serene comes out. You know what I mean? Like, I think they could overdo it. Hopefully they don't. That's a concern of mine, is overdoing these choices, these junction choices. If it's always going to be the same type of choice, like, choose your path. It's gonna, I don't know, I feel like it's gonna be too much. Like, it's gonna be like, oh my god. Like, you might get tired of it. Another thing that I'm kind of, at least I see it as kind of like a problem, is trying to show off. Too much showing off. We're like, ooh, look how pretty we made this, you know? And they throw it in your face and you know they're showing off. And you're just like, that was pointless. They did it just to show off. I hate that. Sometimes the less is better. The less, I mean, if you've got great graphics, if that motion capture is amazing, we could tell. We're not stupid. Like, we could tell. You don't have to push it in our faces, showing us like, whoa, oh, look how cool that looks. Ooh, like freaking Matrix style. It's the whole concept of that, ooh, ah, oh. Ugh. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the comparison to Defiance. Like, again, like I said in the beginning, I don't see this as an issue. This is not a concern to me, because some people might be saying, oh, well, Defiance sucked. And they tried to do pretty much the same thing, so this is probably going to suck too. I know a lot of people have already said this. I mean, I don't know that much about Defiance, but I know that it's an MMO. And I was reading some ways that your gameplay that you could affect the show is like, ooh, look, your wanted poster made it on the show. I don't care about that stuff. Even though I've never played Defiance, even though I've never seen the TV show Defiance, just the idea that it's an MMO, that means that pretty much what is, I'm guessing, what is transferring over is more of the world and like missions that you did. They probably will talk about them over here, or you'll hear characters or whatever. But when we're talking about Quantum Break, this is a personalized single player. Everybody is going to have a different show. It's not one massive multiplayer game being into a show. No, it's individual. It's individual shows. Like they were saying, individual director's cut experiences. That's like not even comparable. Whether it will flop, I don't know. I hope it doesn't. I really hope it doesn't, for Remedy's sake and for the idea. Because the idea, I feel like it's a good one. I feel like I really want this to work. Because if it does, it's gonna be so cool. At least that's what I think. Let me know in the comments. I'm dying to know what you guys think about this concept, about this idea. That's why I wanted to make a video about it, because I know a lot of people, every time I read things about Quantum Break, people are like, I don't know what it is. Like, it looks weird. I don't know what it is. So I think people should know more about it in order to judge whether they're excited about it or whether they're not. Gamers want to see focuses on the game. They want to see their choices matter. They want to see individual choices, personalized choices, where they're like, oh my god, like what I did actually mattered. They want a challenge. They don't want to just sit there and choose. That's not why we play games. That's not why I play games. And I know that that's not why a lot of people play games. Some people, maybe you're casual gamers. Well, that's totally fine. But I want a challenge. I want a game that will blend into a TV show so that I could see the consequences. And, I mean, if the TV show is awesome, then that's, like I said, that's just a plus. Because you're pretty much creating that show. You're pretty much affecting it. It's seriously making me consider an Xbox One. I mean, PS4, that's in my future. No doubt about it. This is the only game I want for it. But I'm like, inside of me, I'm like, it's not worth it. At least not now. Hopefully in 2014, freaking Microsoft starts to announce some more Xbox One exclusives so that it would be maybe more reasonable to say that I want an Xbox One. Because right now, I really want to play Quantum Break, but I'd have to buy an Xbox One. That's way too much. That's like buying a game that costs like $500. I've said this in the past. I want all platforms. I hate missing out on games because, oh no, I'm an Xbox fanboy. PlayStation could kiss my butt. Last of Us? Last in line because nobody cares. No. Until then, we've got a long time for Microsoft to announce some more awesome exclusives, hopefully. And we have more time also to keep an eye on this, to see more. I would love to see more gameplay because in the VGX, they hardly showed any gameplay. They showed some cover-to-cover system, but I would like to see the action. What is that UI like? Is it like the shooting scenes in Beyond Two Souls? Because that was pretty lame to me. Or is it like full on, like you could shoot whoever is on your right, and you don't need no freaking prompt to tell you who you could shoot and who you can't. And then you're able to use these like time crazy powers that just like I get too excited about things. There's nothing I can do about it, so whatevers. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.